Yeah, I've never been more disenchanted about a national election as this one because, the two choices we were given are not ideal by any means. Um, you know, in a perfect world, we'd have a Labor Party, right? Um, you know, made up of working people that actually could, express what the working people in the United States need. Hot, weird take on this one, but Shawn O'Brien did walk into the Republican convention and do a fiery labor speech. What if this is setting up the groundwork for a Labor Party? This is what people are understanding is my conservative friends, my working class people that I'm friends with and talk to all said they loved Shawn O'Brien's speech. A lot of those people aren't really hip to the politics. They don't care, but they've heard the speech and they go, you know what, that dude spoke to me. I know it's not under ideal circumstances. I get it. But touching on some of the stuff that people said, bringing up the 1934 Minneapolis strike, the last really labor-friendly president we had was Franklin Roosevelt, did wonders for working people. We haven't had the power to shut down the country. If we were talking about the rail strike or whatever, just recently, it's not coming out of the pandemic and everything. I understand why the negotiations were postponed and, there was compromises made because as we were healing as a nation coming out of the pandemic, a rail strike wasn't a great time. And I'm going to tell you, if it did happen, the view on labor would not be so hot with the average ordinary American person. I would have thought it was great. But most people would be like, after we just went through all of this, you guys are going to shut down the country. I think the timing was bad. 1970, Wildcat Strike. A lot of you probably familiar with that. Well, my grandfather was actually a part of that and shut the shit down. It was pretty hot. But we haven't had a strong labor leader that's been able to rally, 3 million Teamsters or however many were members at the time. I hear a lot of people commenting. It sounds like they're, unhappy with the UPS contract or, the contract before that one was a lot worse. I know that had a two-tiered system, the 22-4s. That guy, 350,000 Teamsters under a UPS contract, you're not going to make everybody happy. I get it. But the thing we're missing is 70% of the fucking membership voted for it. So, squeaky wheel, I get it. But this is democracy. This is the compromise. And people were okay with it. They signed off of it. Don't blame it on other people. It's, 70% is not it wasn't close, with the election, like I said, I'm looking at both choices going, God help us. I think it's like these are the two best people we have in the United States. Pretty much a lot of us would agree. If we can get rid of them both and just start fresh and draw two names out of the hat, I think a lot of people would go for that. To say, the Democrats have been historically labor friendly, but when I make what I tell my friends is there's one party that says they're for organized labor and there's one party that's vehemently against organized labor. But the thing is what actually are they doing for labor? We're in a kind of, as working people, in a shitty position. And, I would love to see a third party that would kind of balance the scales. But this is the shit hand we're dealt with in, the United States right now. And, I'll tell you right now, Shawn O'Brien himself could have me in a headlock telling me you have two choices, vote for Donald Trump or Satan. and I'd be voting for the Morning Star, if you get what I mean. But the thing is look at the other choice. I'm like, yes, he might be the most pro-labor president. He has his flaws. I get it. Like I said, I'm disenchanted, but the thing is, bashing Shawn O'Brien for going in there into the lion's den and, shitting all over the white rug and smearing his feet and, putting his muddy cowboy boots on the couch, if you know what I mean. People don't see it because they're either blinded by their hatred for the Republicans, blinded by their hatred for Shawn O'Brien, blinded for their hatred from Trump. But the thing is something unprecedented happened a few days ago that I'm, sure, I'm not a big Shawn O'Brien fanboy, but I do give credit where credit is due, because if you put the first 1/3 of the speech aside and listen to the second 2/3, that's what everybody wants to hear. And the thing is, it was just in a very strange, unsuspecting venue. But if I was a big corporation and throwing a pizza party for my employees and telling them how unions are no good, that's a captive audience. What did Shawn O'Brien just do? He held a captive audience at the Republican fucking convention. Well, love it or hate it, it is what it is. Now it's time for the Democrats to tell him to get in there, do that again, but do it even better. And if that doesn't happen, I don't know what to tell you. So anyways, it's been fun, guys. It's been a great time. I have knots in my stomach for what's coming in November because, God help us all. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching The Real News Network, where we lift up the voices, stories, and struggles that you care about most. And we need your help to keep doing this work. So please tap your screen now, subscribe, and donate to The Real News Network. Solidarity forever.